And this plastic underneath is crucial because it first of all prevents the cement from sticking to the work table. It allows us to separate the rock dash, this structure we're building, just by lifting it up and separating the plastic from the final product. Without the plastic, it'd be very hard to get this off the table and to flip this over. We're going to flip this over in 1 second. We don't want too much here. We just want enough. Okay, we're going to flip this over. Okay, now we've got to put another coat on here. We're going to put a dry piece of fabric on top of this. And when you do the first coat, it makes it so much easier to get the second coat on. Work it in, even on this side, work it in nicely. We call this making a cement skin. That's what we're doing. We're making a decorative cement skin for us to use at a later date. Okay, we're getting it nice and level. And we're going to put a dry piece on top of this. Going to absorb the moisture. Identical size. We're going to put all the factory edges facing me. Okay, so let's go through this again. I've got 2 pieces of fabric, but I have 3 coats. Bottom coat of cement, white Portland, fabric, another coat of cement. Then we dip this one into the wet cement, another piece of fabric, and now we're going to put a thicker coat on top of this. And why is it going to be a little bit thicker? It's going to be thicker because we need it to grab the rock dash, the little stones, the little pebbles. So we need this a bit thicker than normal. Basically, we're not troweling it out completely. And then remember, we're going to cut this to size or work it to size that we can wrap it around that metal armature. Okay, look, and it doesn't have to be completely smooth because I think the rock dash will hide any unevenness. Yeah, look, I've got a coat everywhere. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick. I'm just coming back with the trowel to get everything nice and level. One direction. So I'm going to travel all the way through. And in this wet material, I'm going to put the rock dash into it. And then we're going to let it dry out. And you can understand why I need a piece of plastic underneath here, because I'm going to lift this material up with the plastic, and then I can harvest it because the plastic's going to separate it. Okay, let's get started. And I'm going to get it to a stage where it actually goes completely dry, because I'm doing this, okay, just so I can get it in deeper, and I want some of the cement to come through. And this is going to be interesting because it will some pebbles will fall off, but at one point they won't. So I'm going to go all the way up to there. Make sure you have enough of this, whatever you're using as your rock dash, have enough of it. And this tamping it in makes a big difference because you're getting a big surface in there. So this area is ready. So I'm not going to wait too long. I got a little spot here. Okay, so watch. I'm going to do this. This is completely clean. You get the idea how much deeper this will go by doing this. And since everything is dry, nothing sticks to this. Put a little bit more. Okay, we continue. Then all you do is you cut this to size, and you put it over your wire cage. So that's what I like about these cement, whatever you want to call them, art canvases or cement structures that we're basically putting onto the round shape, the cylindrical shape. So you push it to one side, push, and then you can get this nice and flat. And the more you rub it, the more it's going to turn gray on you. It's gray cement color. And I can see if there's any empty spots. There's an empty spot here. Just put a little bit more. And the nice thing about this is I can let it dry up as long as I want, because it's got cement underneath it, so cement will stick to cement, especially if I use a little bit of a bonding agent to get the two of them to glue together again. And then when I peel this up, there's going to be a lot of loose material. I know that already. Got a hole here that's opened up, probably from the bouncing. So basically cement fabric and this rock dash and white cement. And I have 1/8 of an inch of wet material here that will accept this. And this will bend easily because first of all, we're doing a round shape. And second of all, there's going to be spaces in between these little pebbles that will bend when you roll this up onto the metal frame. And there's so many different colors in these pebbles that you can find. This bag was $3 here. And this will dry up your cement very quickly. So that's why I like to tamp it right away. I don't like to wait. I want that to get inside here. Got a trouble area here. It bounces up, lifts it up. It's basically anywhere you see the moisture coming through that it's probably a bit thinner. And I'm estimating that I'll lose 50% of this when I go to lift this up. 50% of it will fall off and I'll use that again. What happens is when you make this planter, it looks like exposed aggregate, but without all the work. You have to polish it or grind it. It'll remind you 100% of polished aggregate. And this material itself has bigger pebbles, smaller pebbles. So that's what really helps it get into the fabric, is because the smaller ones will stick differently than the bigger ones. Let me get right to the edge. And I just have enough. Perfect. I think this will speed up the drying process of these sheets, these double sheets, by maybe 25%. It'll dry quicker with this dry material on top. What I wanted to say is that if I would have used 3 layers of fabric, it won't bend as nice when I'm trying to wrap it around that container. It just won't bend as nice. And then we have to decide if we're going to seal this or not. This could be a metal trowel, it could be anything, it could be something you have lying around the house. Just make sure that you can apply a really good force by actually pushing it into this wet material. Super important. I got a bad spot here, got another bad spot there where the material is missing. And if you have areas that have less cement on that final coat, you're going to pay the price just simply because it's not going to go in as deep as everywhere else. So try to get that last coat really nice and perfect. It'll look really good. Here we go, the last of it. So it's the next morning and I want to talk about procedure. So what I did wrong is I didn't wet this down and I didn't wash this rock dash or this gravel, this fine gravel. So I'm paying the price by not doing a proper procedure. If this was wet into the wet cement, it would have stuck a lot better instead of us putting dry material on. So this is what's going on, is we're losing most of the gravel, but there is enough gravel there for it to look good. So we're going to stain it. So we're going to save the situation because we didn't follow the procedure correctly. We're basically going to fix the problem. So what's happened now is we have more white areas showing, and we're simply going to stain it and get those white areas to be an asset, to make them look good. Yeah, when you don't get your process right or your procedures correct, and you miss a step or you make a mistake, you get a different result, but you got to make the best out of it. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, I got to get a measurement off this fabric to cut the wire frame for it. Ya, Laura, vienes a este lado. ¿Este broche es duro, Laura?
No como espeso.
Going back, touching up some of the lighter areas. Yeah, we want to move this outside into the sun, although the sun just went away. So we're going to get this off the plastic. We actually need the table space, so a bit of a necessity to get this on. Without the plastic underneath, forget it. Forget about it. It's not happening. Okay, vas allá. Okay. Yeah, we're going to seal this. Está sucio, Laura, eso. I'm varnishing this now because we want all these pebbles to stay in place. They didn't stick perfectly, but with this material they definitely will. Yeah?